All right, everyone can see?
Yes.
Great. So my presentation is sharing my struggle bus and bringing the internationals in Germany and Hamburg together. So I'm Hannah. Many of you may know me. I am a Canadian expat and I've been in Hamburg for 7 years. You might know me from Expats in Hamburg, which Faton said I'm the admin in for the last 2 years. I'm also quite well known on Instagram and TikTok and some other different platforms. So a lot of people just recognize me by my face, and it's been kind of fun becoming this kind of popular expat in Hamburg. So as many expats in Hamburg, there's many questions that would always get asked repeatedly. And so the first one is, why did you come to Hamburg? So the main story is that, 6 years or 7 years ago, I was traveling in Europe and I met a lovely German man, and he inspired my my move to Hamburg. I actually did study in Cologne for about 6 months as like a trial Germany trip at the Cologne Business School. But yeah, the main reasoning was for love. So next questions, please. What do I do for work? So I work in global marketing and events. So right now I work for the software company called Adform. It's a global advertising platform based also out of Denmark in Copenhagen. And before the pandemic, my job was traveling all around the world and planning events for the company, and mostly in Europe, some conferences to cocktail parties to trade shows. It was an absolute dream. Now I am doing online webinars, which since I can't travel and I can't do events, all I do is sit at home and literally press play on things like this. So it's actually funny for me to actually be the person speaking, because I'm usually playing the role as the back end person, making sure all the Zoom calls go smoothly or producing like big online events. We just did an event in March where we had, 6 speakers from 6 different countries, and we had them on this like this fake stage where we had the green screen behind them, and it looked like it was an actual show, and it was very complicated. My first time doing an online event, but it was fun nonetheless. Next question. Do you speak German? Yes, but I won't be doing this presentation in German or any presentation in German in the next while soon, because my German, like many people who speak German, sounds like a child, but I can understand almost everything. Do you want to go home to Canada one day? Very hard question. And I'm sure a lot of people who are expats are asked this, because like so many Germans are surprised that you would want to live in this country permanently when you're from someplace like Canada. And yes, the answer is I do want to go home eventually. I did have plans to go home in the next years, but the pandemic kind of happened, and I feel like it's kind of like stepped into my last years of my time living in Europe. So like this year, my plan was actually to like live in many places in Europe because of my job, but actually I've just been stuck in Hamburg, which is not the worst place to be stuck. So what is a struggle bus? If anyone has heard this term, can they please like put the raise their hand thing on Zoom? No one knows. Okay, so the struggle bus is the state of doing anything simple and struggling an inordinate amount with it. So that's just like doing simple things, but just, always struggling with it. And I think a lot of us can relate to this whenever we're trying to do anything as an expat in Germany. It's just like always 10 times more steps. So I'll tell you the things that I had to struggle with on my struggle bus in the last years. So, as I just said, I came to Germany for a German man. And actually 2 years ago, we broke up. And that wasn't easy at all. I would say Germans are tough people, and breaking up with them is even tougher. And also doing that alone in a foreign country, away from your family, especially when you have moved your entire life for someone. So that was a big struggle bus. So then, of course, when I decided to stay in Hamburg. Originally, it was only going to be for 6 months or something like this. after the breakup, but yeah, it's 2 years later, I'm still here. So the next thing I had to do was try to find a flat in Hamburg, which I just talked recently in the breakup. The breakout group is trying to find a flat in Hamburg is already impossible. Then throw in that you're a single international woman with a less than average salary, and it's really, really hard. So I think I went to like over 20 flat viewings and actually ended up finding my flat through Facebook, through friends of a friend, which vitamin B in Germany is basically the only way to find a flat in Hamburg. Another struggle bus was sorting my life out here, and doing that all in German without really knowing German. So I had to depend on my ex-boyfriend a lot before in the relationship. He sorted out all the stuff for me. He made all the calls to Vodafone. He talked to Vattenfall for the energy. And so me trying to figure this all out by myself without knowing German was a struggle bus. Now, does everyone understand what struggle bus means? Okay, great. So more struggle buses, German bureaucracy. I don't think I need to say anything about this. It is so time consuming, and I just put this picture of this paper form because I think I filled out this paper form like 6 or 7 times just to change my residency, change my address, register for this TV tax that is unnecessary because I don't even watch German television or listen to the radio. But me trying to figure this all by myself, alone in this foreign country, big struggle bus. The next thing was dating in Hamburg. So being single in Germany, obviously you want to, try to find a new partner. Yeah, I would say definitely not like dating in North America. There's different cultural norms. The German guys can be kind of direct or distant or, not very good in communicating. Definite struggle bus. So, and then after all this, I had my life figured out. I had a new apartment. I was finally feeling all settled here in Hamburg again, being like, I could stay here for maybe 1 more year. I don't know. Then the pandemic happened. So finally settled, living alone, away from family. All of a sudden, the flights are canceled, and I don't know when I'll be able to get home again. So, enter TikTok. So as I said, Faton, you know me from Expats in Hamburg. I actually became the admin of that group 2 years ago when I was going through my breakup because I just needed a distraction. And I thought, helping other people while I need help myself and be able to share my resources was a big thing. So I already had a bit of an audience, but when the pandemic happened, I downloaded the app TikTok. So does anyone know the app? Does anyone use the app? You can do thumbs up or the hand raise thing. Okay, so some of you do know the app, which is good, and it can be highly addicting. So I didn't know what this app was at all until about the end of this time last year. It's actually my 1-year anniversary on TikTok. And I just started watching the videos, and I was alone in my apartment being like, oh, I'm bored. What else were we doing back then? We're all just trying to find ways to entertain ourselves. And I started seeing other people, I think in the Netherlands, talking about their life in the Netherlands as an expat. And I was like, I can do this. I can make some funny videos about my life in Germany, in Hamburg, and my struggles. And then this happened. So within about from May until now, I literally became somewhat TikTok famous for talking about my life in Germany and all the things I've gone through. So my TikTok went from like 0 to now 24,000 followers. Even the Facebook group Expats in Hamburg, just because of the pandemic, went up like 5,000 followers since we were sharing a lot of stuff in there. And I was also sharing my videos there. My Instagram followers went up this much. And just because I started talking about my struggles online, and I had no idea this many people would engage and interact with my content like this. So as you can see, I talk about a lot of different topics online, like simple things like going to the bakery and old grannies budging in front of me, what it was like living with a German, things to German recycling, communicating with Germans. I even talked about my breakup and even dating in Germany. And as you can see, all these videos like have at least 15,000 likes. And I think it's crazy. I still look at this and I'm like, what the hell? Like, who are all these people liking my videos and talking underneath of them? So one of my videos has 2 million views and 63,000 likes. So I basically made myself a meme in Germany, and I don't even want to know how many people have seen my face. But these videos have been shared across Instagram, WhatsApp, Insta stories, DMs everywhere. I've had friends send my videos back to me saying, "Hey, my friend sent you my video because they thought it was so funny." So it's been quite interesting. Didn't ever expect this to happen. So how did this bring the international community together? So people were alone at home just like me because of the pandemic. My videos were widely spread, and I think the best thing was that Germans most likely have not seen their country through a different perspective. And the amounts of conversations that were happening under my videos that I can see that I don't even take part of, people were talking about like where you can find the best bread, or discussing over like, should we call bread Brötchen or Semmeln, or racism in Germany, to like dating German men, to people were actually connecting in my videos, having conversation, and it's just my face flying back there all the time. So it was very interesting for me. And every time I'm posting a video, I'm also getting a lot of great feedback and people saying, "Hey Hannah, like, thank you so much. Didn't know that people thought these things of me. Like, your comedy is bringing a bit of light into like my boring days." So this is my audience now. So I have 25% of my audience is internationals in Germany, at least 20% internationals in Hamburg, another 20% of people just all over the world who found my content who just want to move to Germany, and at least 25% are Germans. And now, as I said, I've received hundreds of DMs. I've been told I'm the voice of the expats in Hamburg, Germany, and memes and videos have even been shared and liked by famous people. I've been on the radio and the NDR. And yeah, sharing my struggle bus in the end brought people together, and even helped me a lot to feel more integrated in Germany, because I never got to connect with Germans outside of like my colleagues and my close friends, because it's very hard. German are close people. It's very hard to be friends with them. But now I have, a huge community of people I'm never probably going to meet who interact with my content, and also are interacting with people in my content. So I think it's really cool. So a little quote from Brene Brown. I just realized I've made a spelling mistake there. Vulnerability is a path back to each other, but we're so afraid to get on it. So if you've learned anything from this, you don't have to share your story on big platforms like TikTok or Instagram. But if you're vulnerable and you can share your stories online, either with an expats in Hamburg group or other meetups, I think people are really going to relate to that, and maybe it'll bring a different connection, because things can always just get really surface level. And sometimes if we can connect on the fact that Brötchen should be called Semmeln or Brötchen, maybe it will make someone's day. Who knows? So thank you. I know that was a quick presentation, but as I know as an event manager doing this all the time, people's attention spans on online events is quite short. So if you have any questions, you can drop them now. Other than that, you can connect with me on any of those platforms there.